All right. Hello. What's going on? Race Brain Podcast. My name is Rich Ryan, joined as always, Bracken Crocker and Jack Bauer. Today, we're going to start off with a little bit of Hyrox talk. There was battle bunker situation happening, but the bulk of the show will be taken up by Grease Trifecta for Spartan race and potentially World's Toughest Mudder if Jack can really get his software spreadsheet organized, because he's always in disarray when it comes to that.
I'm the
stuff.
one slow and keeping this podcast behind. I know.
He looks clear today, though.
He does.
Clear. I think the sun. I opened up the.
Be careful.
The window a little. Yeah, no. I've got the shade still. This is indirect sunlight, not direct.
I get worried sometimes that my sun is going to burn you through your screen.
Bracken, at Kirk's wedding, did I put on sunscreen?
Yeah.
And there was some guy. So I had the spray kind, and I like walked away from everybody, and there was some guy sitting at a bench, and I guess we parked near his car or something. I'm like 10 feet away from the cars, nowhere near him, and I heard him mutter. He's like, he's gonna spray that damn stuff on my car, and I was like, whoa, now I'm gonna like actually spray it at your car.
Oh, is that you?
No.
Are you
I'm not. No, I'm not petty like that. But I felt
spray
like
wash me in sunshine on someone's car.
Spray me, yeah.
That's our world.
Wasn't particularly sunny that day.
Doesn't matter.
Found it warm.
80. Yeah. Oh yeah. Pit stains were happening.
Can you get sunburned by humidity? Humidity burn?
I mean, I think so. The last sunburn I legitimately had was when I was 17 years old. 17. No, I rolled up my sleeves like this, and I was helping at the shot put after my meet, and I put sunscreen on elbow down, and I forgot I rolled up my sleeve, and I had like this giant red mark on both of my biceps. Yeah, doctors, everything.
Well, Jack left his sunscreen in our vehicle, and we tried to return it to him, and he's like, I can't take this through security. This is Crocker. You have to have a permit to carry this type of sunscreen, and I don't have it with me. So we kept it. We've got a little shrine at our house now. Our little no one gets to use that except in like the worst.
It's got to be sunny.
Yeah,
it's like Bracken shoe wall. I've got the sunscreen wall. I've got like SPF 50 lined up here. Here's the Kroger brand. Here's like the banana boat. Yeah.
That was like 11 p.m. And like, Jack, you need this. The moon, the sun reflects off the moon.
When you guys were falling asleep, and I was like, all right, guys, what's happening? Yeah.
Now I'm here. Now I'm thriving. This past weekend, we had Hyrox Valencia. We saw our guy Rylan Shadegg show out.
Do you know he was going
out? Not until
a couple days before.
Yeah, until I think HFN.
I thought he was hurt.
Hybrid Fitness Media. I mean,
looked it. Kind of always is, but it doesn't matter.
But he was over there because he's going Trifecta this weekend. And I think he just kind of like was like, I'll stop in Spain, hit this Hyrox, showed out with a 58.11. That puts him 10th on the major qualifying list right now. Our boy Alphonse de Ruiz, 59.33, and Aitor Lazaro Hormila, 60.16. Stacked race with also Martin Machilius, who was in the front for the majority of this race until I think Rylan kind of ran him down. And we saw Michael Sandbach.
That guy is.
He's a monster, dude. He's like 6'4" for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Him and Gabe Heck in the same race.
Tall.
Got some size.
And Sandy was out there too through burpee broad jumps, just with a breakneck pace. Anyone catch a story on? Did he just?
I don't know what happened.
I think he did the Hunter thing. Let's ride the line, see what happens. Realized it's not happening. Let's pull the plug.
That's the spot where you start to know too. By burpee broad jumps, and he had a good burpee broad jump, but then I think he's probably like,
was he like 2.0?
207, I think. And he's typically pretty good. He's typically pretty, but he's just like, he's always good at the front, whatever stations, and it's just a matter of how well he's going to hang on. My
guess is like 13 jumps in. He was like, or like 5 jumps in. He's like, all right, I tried. Just like Hunter, I tipped. I'm just going to finish this station hard and then call it.
I mean, I don't know. I think I've had maybe 2 Hyrox races where I'm like, I don't think I need to quit. But most of them, I am like, all right, I can't. I'm done. I can't do this today.
Yeah. So I mean, he basically set a 5K PR in the opening half of a 10K. It's like bad decision.
Yeah, you can't break through though unless you bash into a wall or two. Sometimes the wall definitely works.
Didn't Meg mention that? I don't know if it was on a couple weeks ago podcast with you, Rich, where she was just saying like, I heard Hunter did that. I might just see what happens one of these times, and it leads to a breakthrough and a really good performance.
just whatever Hunter says, do. And I mean, like, yeah, I mean, maybe that was the case. I don't think Sandy's coming over for the first race in Chicago, but really the story here is Rylan. We've seen him twice now not be able to really put it together in a Hyrox event, one right after DECA and then another a couple months later. So this was great to see him be able to finish that race the way that we figured we could, right? Like his ceiling has to be one of the highest of anybody in the competitive field right now. So being able to see him run this way and still be able to do the stations this aggressively, very encouraging. Scary.
And I would say he still didn't even put it together because he closed 456 or something on wall balls.
Wall balls
his last
slow.
run was like 20 seconds off his mean.
He was in the 320s for the first few. Like it wasn't even an efficient race.
Yeah, for a bit. And those were, I mean, I know the runs are a little off, but if you combine it, he was 32-0 or 32 low, I think, for his run. But then at the end, he was like 50 or whatever. But anyway, he limped in with a 58-11. A while back,
there's a minute, right?
Minimum.
Yeah.
And then, I think he left 90 seconds in the last two stations.
Right.
It's crazy.
On the women's side, I do want to touch on the Elite 15 where we're at on that right now. But on the women's side, Daniela Kotu, 66.28. Zara Pergiani, 67.30.
It's my favorite part of the show each week.
Oh, it's so good. Wait till the trifecta world pronunciations.
I ain't saying nobody's name in that. I'm just gonna start.
I couldn't do better.
Ryan.
I'm gonna point. Yeah, I'm drafting myself in these races. I'm just a wild card. You never know. So on the women's end, Daniela, that was a PR for her, and she's kind of an outside threat for the championship. She'll need a bit of a roll down, I believe, but she's been definitely a competitor. I think she was like the third overall in Manchester in the age group. It was Camilla, then it was Maria Fakic. You know what I'm talking about, Jack?
Of course. Yeah.
Fakic? Fakic.
I guess. Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know. No.
And
this is like me throwing out Europeans to you.
And then Zara was third. Yeah. So solid on that end. Let's touch on Dublin real quick. Apparently this race was a disaster. Tom Hogan told me even like when I was in Spain, he's like, this venue, this ain't it. It's small. There's like pillars in it. It's just not. And the UK shows out to Hyrox. So it was probably so crowded, just wasn't going to happen. Winning men's time, Sean Noble, 66.16. Ali Fricker, 66.48. Aaron Woodman, 67.21. On the women's side, Carrie Hewitt was 72 flat. This name here, this is such an Irish name that I had to look this one up. I was like, I have no idea. Jack. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Aoife.
It's probably like a W, like Wi-Fi. That's my guess.
Anything, BK?
I think my audio cut out.
Yeah, Bracken said it right.
BK, he's got that Irish in him too. It's Ifu O'Rourke.
Ifu.
Yes.
Okay, I was definitely wrong.
And then Alexandra Vargan was 75.22. So the times were slow as expected, which, that's just what the UK is going to have. I don't know what we're going to expect from the UK.
That's why Sandy doesn't go there anymore.
He shouldn't. I mean, yeah, he moved away. So he doesn't have to do it anymore.
Eventually the sleds are just too much and the venues are too much to handle and you got to go. You got to just switch continents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was other reports that like the carpet was like wet. It was like,
I mean, it's Ireland.
Yeah. There is like a general haze.
You lay a carpet down in a bog, it's going to soak through.
So it's good to have that. But this was the last weekend for athletes to punch their ticket into the first major, which is in Chicago in 2 weeks. So the list is set on that. Now we're just waiting for athletes to confirm if they're going to come or not. Someone, let me pull this thing up. You guys want to see it?
Yeah. This is the issue, right? This is the issue with not doing the Ironman style date dependent roll down. Like you must declare and then it rolls down and the next person has 2 hours to decide.
Right.
When you don't do that, this is what you deal with is international flights 10 days out from the event. We still don't know. Do we book? Do we not? this isn't me railing against Hyrox, even though it may sound like it is. It's just when you have a roll down type situation, it's got to be time dependent.
What does Ironman do?
So like at an Ironman event for the age group or whatever else is there, they'll announce right away at awards, basically, these are the top 3, or there are 5 slots available. These 5 have qualified. You have 90 minutes or 60 minutes to declare. You have to pay right there.
Wow.
You have to commit to it there. And if you don't, the next person rolls down and they have that same amount of time. Clock starts. You, at the end of this, you have to have committed. Otherwise, like,
that's based on how they finished, right?
Yeah. So slots at an event.
Okay.
So like Ironman Wisconsin might have 3 spots in the 30s age group and 6 slots in the 20s or whatever. They have to declare that day. Now that's extreme. That's over the top, but it guarantees that they have people already ahead of time confirmed, locked in. If you give it up, the spot doesn't reappear. It's just, that's what it is. And people know when you can plan. There's some middle ground in there that's probably perfect world, but this isn't it.
It's hard. This is definitely challenging, especially with the international athletes who are waiting for this type of roll down. And flight prices and hotel prices are also pretty
Chicago
expensive.
Is not cheap this weekend.
No, they get it now.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, they do. They do. I was looking at the Sable just like the weekends before or after. It's like 100 plus cheaper. Where you staying, BK? You in the Sable?
I still haven't booked. I just keep waiting for something to pop up because it's outrageous. I'm going to be paying almost triple this year what I did last year because they wised up to it. And this also isn't like Denmark or something like that, where if you're a local athlete, you can decide the day before and just pop over. Like in the state, it's nice for the roll down is nice for people in the host country, because if the flying in is prohibitive, then you just get to snipe it yourself. We'll get a bunch of local athletes there, but in the States, it's not like that. We can have a 4-hour flight to get there, unlike, some European flights where it's just a puddle jump over. So it is prohibitive from cost and timing for a lot of these athletes to try to decide last minute.
Looking at this, the international athletes, the European-based athletes, I think if they get a roll down for this event, they should probably take it, because most of the people that are not coming to this event are going to be European, and they will most likely show out for Stockholm and Valencia. So that's an incentive. Right. This might be your chance for some of these athletes, which is bad for me.
It is. And this is I wouldn't say this is the fastest course. This isn't like a Monaco track or Berlin, but it's also a stable course. It's always on the slow end of fast. Like it's up there. It's probably like a top 1 in the US or 2 venue if you have to run in the US, but it's always going to be reliable. You know what you're getting.
Yep.
Every year, whoever wins runs pretty fast and punches their ticket. So this is, if you can handle the travel, this is the one to go to.
For sure. On the women's end, Tara Jackson's in that 15 spot, right outside Jezebel Kremer, Jacqueline Lippenmeyer, Maria Fasick. There you go, Jack. How are we saying that? Is that how we say it?
Probably Fasick.
And then there's our 19.
Canadian, yeah.
Wasn't Jezebel in the same position for Worlds last year?
Tied with Jacqueline.
Yeah.
No, it was with I
thought it was an L, Lippenmeyer.
No, it's a German athlete who doesn't seem to be
really
okay.
Jezebel just can't get out of these roll down battles.
What was her name?
Was it Alina?
No. It was her name. I'm sorry.
I thought it started with an L. But
they were country women, and they had done it at they were within tenths, and they're both Germans.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Well, Jezebel's French.
Take that.
Both French. Sorry, I thought they were both French, not German.
So on this side, I haven't heard much. I don't know if Miriam will be showing up. I haven't heard anything. Viola has traveled before. Yanae, I believe, has traveled.
Chris is doing WTM.
Chris is not showing up to this, and
that seems kind of weak.
Well, there's also is Savage is this weekend or no? When's Savage series?
In Florida, 11/11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bracken,
yes.
I'm putting this together. I don't think it's because she wants to go to Savage or because she's doing WTM. She knows you're going to be in the building in Chicago, and she's not showing up
with backup.
That's the only connect. Yeah, with backup.
Makes sense.
All of Race Brain's going to be there. So
deserves.
That's right.
Anche was who was. That's who was tied.
Netherlands, I think.
I was wrong on multiple levels there, man.
You're just sometimes you just put it out there, dude. You're just like, hey,
why don't you mute yourself real quick?
Say it with confidence, and people believe it most of the time.
I thought they were from the same country, and I
think Anche's from Germany. I don't know though. Whatever, doesn't really matter at all. So we might get a roll down. Like we might see Zara. Maybe 3 or 4 athletes might not show up for this one. I would imagine Maria will be willing to take this
all
as
the way
well.
From Canada.
Yep. Camilla actually has the fastest time of the season of who's raced so far this year with this time in Milan, the 65:04, which is interesting, but we haven't seen most of these athletes race. It's just like the start of the season is a championship.
Yeah. It's an interesting progression with going to these majors because people are ensuring they get to the majors ready. And most of them have done enough to be ready confidence-wise, tactics-wise for a major, but nervous enough not to cook themselves earlier in the season. So it'll be interesting to see how this schedule works out. Does the shift to majors make it basically like we hit the ground and week 1 is playoff time? Or does it come back full circle and people start racing more often?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see from that perspective. Oh, I don't know if Belle McFarland will be here. She's an auto qualifier, so she could just wait, right? She's in a good position that way. So if she's not ready, she might not show up at least. So we might see 4 or 5. 4, I would guess 4 at most, maybe 5 athletes, since there is such a good American presence in this Elite 15.
What about the men, Rich? I mean, 4 or 5, that's not going to help you. You need like
4
7,
or 5,
but
4 or 5 could help.
4 or 5,
anything could help.
Yeah, I give you a 50% chance of getting in based on some of the names that I've heard who aren't going to be there.
I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but they're already up, which is a bummer.
I think it's realistic.
It's definitely realistic.
Names, Jack.
Rich talked about it also with Kent and Meg on their podcast. I don't think Hunter's going to be there. I know Alex. It sounded like he was going to be there. He posted.
Yep.
Tobias won't.
I heard no.
How's Megita's back?
That hasn't stopped them from taking championship spots in the past.
Yeah. What's Kent's rationale? I didn't listen to that one yet.
Kent's rationale about what?
Not going to Chicago.
Kent's going. I'm staying with him.
Oh, what were you just saying then about Kenton?
We were just on our podcast that we have together.
Yeah.
No. Jack was listing Kent of people who might not go.
I never said that.
What was the very first sentence you said?
Hunter. I was going top to bottom because that's normally the direction.
I think he mentioned that Kent and I were talking about it.
Oh, yeah, I took it as Kent's now not considering going.
Why don't you sign off, Bracken?
Just regroup. Just regroup.
Yeah.
This is rough for me.
Yeah. Are James and Bo gonna come from Australia?
James lives in Germany now, so I believe so. And I think Bo is also European based. So I believe that I don't know if Bo will show up, but James is definitely coming. So Tobias is not coming. I heard. Tim Venish is a maybe. I think he said something on a post before that he's coming. That was a couple months ago. I don't know what his health is like after being injured just in May. Joffrey's coming off of an injury. He won't be coming. I'd imagine Jonathan Wynn is coming. Graham Holiday is coming. Ryland's a maybe. You know?
I would be shocked if he doesn't.
I kind of would too. That. I mean, it would make sense for him not physically to do so, but that hasn't really stopped.
The reason being, we saw what happened on his third weekend after racing many times in a row. Like he's going to do Trifecta. He just did Hyrox Valencia, and it's like coming back from this, that's a lot on the body. And multiple
Deca a couple weeks later.
Transatlantic, but
you have to race Sunday in Greece, right?
All 3 days, and the Sunday is the longest.
Right. So what's the earliest you can get on a flight? Either late
Monday morning
5 p.m.
or
something.
Or early. You won't make a 5 p.m.
No,
unless you skip that whole parade and the after everything. You're flying out Monday. You're not getting home until Monday.
Late Monday.
You're gonna feel like crap till Wednesday or Thursday, and then fly again. And I mean, he is in the category of like 2 or 3 people who would do that.
Yeah,
but it catches up.
It caught up to him last year.
Everyone comes out of Greece dinged up. Atkins went in dinged up and came out worse. Ryland came out dinged up. Everyone comes out with something, because how can you not running 3 Spartan courses in 3 days?
Right. So we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him for doing it just because he has the opportunity.
He'll go 57.
Yep.
And his time's actually the fastest time of the year so far that's been raced.
So he and Camilla are the favorites.
They should be. And then where are we at? So Ryland's a maybe. Florian is no. So we're up to 4.
Tom, no.
Tom Hogan's a maybe. He told me yes in Spain, but I've heard other places no. He's coming off of an injury. I don't know. He's a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Then Peter Schiller, I also don't know. He hasn't traveled in the past. So I've kind of been like, he's probably a no, but I don't know. So say Schiller's a no. That's 5. Sandy's a no. Dylan's a yes. Alphonse is a yes.
Alphonse is coming over for Deca.
And Deca, yeah.
Deca Worlds.
We got to get him in the fast heat. Can you pull some of that magic, Jack?
I'm not in charge of that.
Pull some of that magic.
I think it's just a straight.
Of course you're in charge of that. We know you're in charge of that.
Not a Worlds. It's just simply 1 to 10, 11 to 20.
They should call him the European champion, and he gets put in the fast heat.
Yep. Wild card.
Yeah, I think we just need Rich versus Alphonse.
Just
I think they should run doubles.
Yeah, just the 2.
No, not doing doubles. But yeah, I would go head to head for show.
Yeah. All right, so we're up
Eugenio's
to
a yes. So we have 5 that we're saying conservatively are not coming. Mm-hmm. We're up to 3. So Ruben's a maybe, and Yannick, I don't know.
Gabe is a no, presumably.
Gabe is presumably a no.
Thailand, that's the hard.
Yeah, and he'd
hard to plan that roll.
He'd be coming home.
He'd be coming home though. It's like
because he's not too far from. Like he's from Wisconsin, so this is like the race to do it at.
Right,
and yet it's the other side of the earth.
But this is what Bracken was saying. It's like, how can you plan on getting a roll down when you live in Hong Kong, or Vietnam or whatever?
You'd want to be in the air already.
Thailand. Yeah, right. And that but he could realistically come over and just hang out. Maybe he likes Thanksgiving. Maybe that's a holiday that he enjoys in there in Wisconsin.
So, he can come. Gabe, you got a place at our Thanksgiving table.
There we go. That sounds delightful. And then, so Yannick, I have no idea. Ruben, Ruben's a maybe. So it's like,
I'm giving you a 50% chance.
It is really going to come down to it. And then it's your boy. And I'm going to say yes.
You'll say yes? You'll be there?
But the thing, I mean, I hate to do this over and over, but look, like Hanover. There's like 3 Hanovers, 3 Hong Kongs in front of me. And then like the rest are like Barcelona's last year. You know, it's just like.
You're going to be last in or last out.
I would love that.
Yeah. That's what it's going to end up being.
Definitely. But I mean, like, yeah, if Gabe, Ruben, Yannick, I have no idea. I have no idea if Yannick will travel. Alphonse came last year. I forgot that. Ran like 114 or something.
My guess is that this is just like Deca Worlds for Deca Fit. You're going to do the bare minimum to get into that fast heat, and you're going to be number 15. You're going to get in, and it's going to be like the perfect storybook year for you.
Maybe. Last year was not a perfect story for me.
It wasn't. Yeah,
in terms of Hyrox. So I'm right there. I'm right on the cusp.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see.
And if not, you're running elite.
Running that B heat. Yep. Me, Marcus Wallace, Anas.
That heat is going to chick a lot of people.
Yeah. For sure. It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be good.
You will not finish all 16th or worse. I can assure you that.
Those 3 people will all be top 12.
Yeah, we've seen in these championship races, people come over and they just completely bomb.
Yep.
And championship race, once you're spit, I've said it ad nauseum, but once you're dropped, you're dropped.
Yeah, for sure.
There's too many big dogs.
And like you have that mindset, it's like, oh, what if it can go well? What if I can get top 3? What if I can podium? And then like you're not, and then you're just like spiraling down.
Everyone who's run their 56 through 59 took 1st through 3rd to get it.
Yeah.
For the most part, other than maybe Hanover. And so like no one's ever come off the ski erg in 13th place before. No one's ever come off the sleds in 15th, and yet they're going to be. They're all going to be 5 to 10 spots lower than they're used to being, and not everyone's built to handle that. Not everyone is like that garbage can raccoon who's just like ready to churn up through the filth. It suits people who can run from the back. That's why we saw Dylan and Megiddo do so well last year.
Right. And we saw a lot of athletes run pretty poor times.
Yeah.
it's not indicative of what they're capable of necessarily. Because we saw like a guy like Alphonse, right? He has a 50-8 something at Malaga, which was advantageous course for sure, as we see several of those times on this list. But he just ran 59:30, right? Like he's good. Yes, and he just lays everybody to waste in Deca, crushes everybody. But that's just the nature. So we'll see. The deadline to declare is today. So I'll probably be checking my email throughout this because it's right about quitting time over in Germany now. Things are right around 5 p.m. I don't know. You think they burn that midnight oil?
You need to step away. Just let me know.
Yeah. I want you to turn your volume up. Take it off silence. I want the whole podcast to hear when you get the ding.
Look, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go.
So nothing yet, but it's going to come down to the wire for sure. So that's where we are in the Hyrox season. Some fun stuff coming up. So we'll keep you posted on what we got going on there. We got some doubles ready to rock. Ready to rock.
My first Hyrox workout this weekend.
You smash it?
Crushed me. It was my first hard effort. I did two. My first one was Friday, and I wasn't ready after that Michigan yet. That was still in my legs, and it scared me straight.
So you know what Logan felt like, basically?
No, I know what I felt like every time I do doubles.
Oh, yeah.
Callie or Rich giving it to me.
Yeah, at least you had like that. You were riding high for a little bit. You just got brought down to earth after that Michigan win. You were back. You're like, you know what? Well, how many podiums is this, Jack? How many more do I need to get to run up that list? I'm back.
The last thing you want before a Hyrox is to remember feeling good during a race. You don't want that when you're stuck in your craw.
Good point. Did anybody catch Battle Bunker? Did you guys watch any of it?
Honestly, I didn't.
No.
I was following
family Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Did you have trick or treat already?
Oh yeah.
Tonight.
Nice. That's tonight for us too. Yeah. We got candy. We're ready.
All that like automatic weekend stuff, that's stupid. You have to do it on Halloween day.
I agree. Probably better for parents to not.
Yeah, it's tricky when you got
not
little
being
kids.
A parent. Yeah, not being a parent. Who knows?
Yeah.
I just I followed the results. Some of it was definitely goofy, but overall, it just seems like it would be fun to do a 2-day event like that. You know, full of events and just have the camaraderie of it all. But I was not that interested in watching.
I had a chat with Matt B. Davis last week, and he
on that podcast circuit.
I'll come out of here now,
out
Rich.
There.
Yeah. I mean, I just fire off every day. Hey, I think I'd be a great guest. Will you have me on? You land what you land. And he wanted to talk goofy games, and I think he was expecting for me to like go the route that we tend to go on here. But my take is that they're awesome. Every single person who ever goes to one has a great time. They're just hard to consume from the outside. Mm-hmm. And so it always looks like a ton of fun and really dumb, but every athlete loves it. And I'm sure it's the same way this weekend. Like the events got weird, but you're out there in a bubble competing, and that's always fun.
Right. The 2 days that probably makes you feel like a real pro, like a CrossFit Games style athlete, you know, because you had, I think they did like 10 events or something like that over the course of the weekend.
Yeah. I definitely agree with Bracken, even though, you know, oftentimes I'll be like, Goofy Games, they've got some stupid stuff. But going back to, I did the Spartan Combine in 2018. I was like, this isn't going to test who the best Spartan is by any means, but it's a cool competition. And you got to see who can, you know, hang longer, do obstacles quicker, and do all this random stuff to just test like athleticism. I was all for it. So I'd love competing in those kind of things.
So I'm going to try to pull up the results here. They did, and like my thing with just this event in general, it's like, okay, is this is CrossFit for people who don't do CrossFit, right? It's just like, and that's kind of what we saw at the end. The Phil Muscarella is a regionals or semifinals level CrossFitter. He won. Caleb Yates, big dude, he was second. Cole Schwartz ended up third. On the women's end, it was Carly Wopat, and then Emily Rithwell, who did not go through the pipeline, who was a
invite, I think.
What's that?
Wasn't she like a CrossFit Games invite athlete or something?
She's on one of the Invictus teams, not the team that won, but one of the. I think they sent 3 teams this year. She was on one of those teams, which is like, you know, she's a very high level athlete.
You're good.
Jess Petro was third. Yeah, for sure.
Jess is having a season.
She's out there in these games. But
yeah, I was kind of surprised if Phil Muscarella did good, that Isaiah didn't do as well as
that was a surprise.
Not to throw shade at him, but it's like they're pretty comparable athletes, at least at regionals earlier this year. And you figure adding in some obstacles and just it might be in Isaiah's wheelhouse, but I was a little surprised that he wasn't even near the top like the whole time. I know Jake Gibbs got off to a good start and then kind of faded once it got a little bit more strength oriented, but I was a little surprised
as well. He always has struggled in water. There's that infamous clip of him from Palmerton doing like that death thrash through the water.
But he won the Bahamas cruise. What are you talking about?
That's true. He did do that, so maybe he's remedied that.
Didn't he like cut the course or something there?
It was hazy.
Okay.
Bunch top 3 went off course. He got back on creatively.
Who wins in like 100-meter freestyle? Isaiah or Ciro?
That's goofy games.
That's some goofy game shit like that. Let's take people who are not good at stuff and watch them do stuff. That's exactly what goofy games are.
And that's always the big detraction of goofy games, is that if I wanted to watch people do these things well, I'd watch the people who are good at them.
Right.
But the attraction for being there is that when you're surrounded by your peers, you get to find out who has all the intangibles or the other pieces that we don't normally test. You get to show off your individual skills.
Right.
That OCR never tests this, but I'm actually good at this or whatever it's going to be. That's what makes it fun to be there and dumb to watch.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. And that it's always has like this military ethos. For whatever reason, the goofy games are always like, hey, let's put some military
Austin
style
Alexander
stuff.
has a military background.
I know, but they're always
there has
run
to be
by
a cadre or something.
Yeah. It's like, let's see what happens when people need to fight each other in tug of war, or hit each other with pugil sticks, or like,
I want to see Tia Claire Toomey versus Laura Horvath just with pugil sticks. Last event at the CrossFit Games next year.
Imagine if that's what they did all of a sudden. And CrossFit also has that military ethos for sure layered in, but they've never resorted to this combat thing.
Right.
And for whatever reason, we must have combat in goofy games. And that to me is then what makes it goofy. It's like, okay, we've lost it. We've gone off the rails.
I think whether you love or hate the military involvement with these was kind of summed up right away, right off the bat. You saw it in some of their social media clips. They said, this is your vest. We will show you how to put it on. You will have to figure out how to take it off at the end of it. And they like played it up as a positive. And right away, you had the people that were like, that's not an athletic competition. That's throwing a spanner in the works that is going to maybe give people issue. And other people are like, this is exactly it. You have to be able to think under duress, figure things out. And so it takes it away from sport, because there's no sport on earth where they give you a piece of equipment and you're like, you don't get to practice with it.
Right.
But this has it. So whether you lean towards, I love that, or that's dumb, really dictates how you kind of consume this type of sport.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know what the takeaway is from something like that. But I don't know. It's probably just fun to participate in. That seems to be like the end of the day. I was like, oh, this would have been fun and cool to go to.
Yeah.
But on top of training for something specific and like being ready to do a different sport, I cannot at this point of my athletic career be like, that's where I want to spend my time doing this stuff just for fun.
Yeah. It's like if you end up consistently being in the 62, 63s, a few years down the road and stuff in Hyrox.
Yeah, I'll do goofies. I'll do it. I'll do it in my 40s,
Yeah.
There's they're at Rogue Invitational this past weekend. They have like a Legends, like where they bring back like Chris Spieler and like the old CrossFitters.
Old school.
Yeah. So that's where my career's headed. Hopefully. Yeah. I can
just don't be like Ric Flair coming back when he's like 72 years old in the ring. Just, you got to hang it up at some point, but
it'll be like Rock and Jock basketball. It'll be like, that's basically what this is. Rock and Jock hybrid athletics.
Yeah.
Anyone who's prepared for these realizes that the skill you don't have eats up a bunch of your time right away so if you pivot to this, even if it's only like 3 or 4 weeks, like you got to get in the pool a bunch. You got to get under a load while running.
Right.
And you can do that and maintain really good fitness. But what you can't do is do that and PR Hyrox,
right?
Or do that and PR DECA. And so for the people who are going to shoot for the top of another sport, they can't keep pivoting. But for someone like Cole, who will constantly pivot from games to games to games, it keeps him in phenomenal all around shape, and he can jump into a Hyrox or some sort of event. I assume he'd do well at a strong or a mile right now.
Probably.
He won't be his best at it, and that won't matter to him.
Right.
But for someone like you who's trying to be the best at it, it's just distracting.
Yeah, it's hard to fit. It's hard to fit it into.
Cole looks the part now. He's done so many of these training camps for this kind of thing that he's beefy now. He's all around strong and dynamic, and it's working for him.
He's been clean in high 200s for several years. He's a strong guy.
Yeah.
For Okras this year, we're gonna do Goofy Games of the Year. Should we do Goofy Games Athlete of the Year too?
Best event.
Has he missed a podium at a Goofy Games?
No, I don't.
We'll have to do our research.
Maybe not.
He wasn't at Rally in the Valley, so I guess he technically missed that one. So.
The obstacles, I mean, he was like in 6th all weekend, and he won the obstacle course at the end, kind of saved him. But yeah, that's kind of how it was at Go Ruck too. But yeah, he gets up there. So we'll do Goofy Games Athlete and Goofy Games Event of the Year. Or is that like, we'll talk about it.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. But everybody, they're going to happen.
Jared Newby's the GOAT still.
Yep.
Goofy Games GOAT.
Probably is.
I mean, and then Jack Driscoll's got to be up there. He's always in the mix in these things.
He punches above his weight against any big dog who shows up.
Dude is strong. All right. Jack, we ready to draft?
Yeah. Which one?
So we have 2 big events, World's Toughest and Greece Trifecta. Jack, I don't know.
Let's do Trifecta.
I was going to vote that we draft simultaneously.
I like that idea in
chaos
practice. The chaos of it.
So
like Goofy draft.
You get first dibs, and you can choose which race you want to get. So you could just load up on WTM talent,
and then
let's.
I don't think it'll all fit in the screen. That's the problem.
Well, then forget it.
I love the idea.
It's a good idea.
From a listener consumption side of things, they're gonna be like, wait, what are they talking about now? And we're gonna be like, who cares? Wild West.
I think that's on brand.
Wild card.
That's some wild card shit. Each of us, instead of a block card,
you want Goofy
we get to
games,
make up
how
a
about
random
Goofy
rule.
draft?
We can, and then we can draft something completely different, right? Like we can just like toss in an NBA player. But in regular
not James Harden
football, me and BK 1-2. Jack, you're up in that mix too. But me and BK.
Except you and your stupid 1-point victory a couple weeks ago threw off my season. Then Kirk Cousins tears his Achilles, killing me.
Oh, that's what you get for drafting him.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
I'm in 5th, but I've got the lead in points over 4th. So
you're in the mix. I'm catching.
I've got a chance
on points.
Yeah. You're not catching me on points.
Big week. Well, it depends how the Dolphins play.
Bracken has the Dolphins. He's good. He's
not always.
I had luck into that. I drafted that.
I got the Eagles, so I'm good. They always are. They never get worked like the freaking Finns. All right, so let's do Trifecta first. I mean, that was the original plan. So let's.
You need to enable sharing.
I don't need to do shit.
I guess we're not having a draft.
The single best thing about winning in Michigan was that it kept me from being just an OCR fantasy football guy. That was the only thing I had left. It was the only thing of note I'd done in the last 5 years in the sport of OCR was finishing the season in 2nd in our league last year. And I was starting to think like, this is it.
Maybe that's the route.
It's just, it pays quicker than Spartan, other than Jack.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, I think I have the money somewhere. I'm not exactly sure.
I paid quickly this year. I was on time.
So for our fantasy OCR drafts, we go snake style. We are going to draft 7 men and women, or no?
We're going to do it just like OCR Worlds, where we're going to have 3 men, 3 women, a random wild card.
3 men, 3 women.
Nice.
Wild card. We do it
top
in
5.
Cross-country style, top 5 from both genders score. So the lowest score wins on that. I have no idea what the season standings are. I imagine I'm winning after I cleaned everyone's clock.
Don't claim that title. I've got that.
I said I imagine. I was cleaning clocks at OCR World Championships. So that was 4 victories, Jack.
I only had 2 losses. Bracken got demolished. So
I took it so hard that weekend that I'm still not walking correctly. That was rough.
Now you're going to limp into this trifecta situation. I've done zero research on this.
Sweet.
I don't know any of these people's names. This is your home. This is your home for OCR opinion analysis.
This is your news source for European.
This is the rich pronunciation hour.
When the pond is small, fish doesn't have to be that big. Let's look at this wheel of names here.
Ooh, let me get this on the screen for you. Go ahead.
I'm to the point I can't have the number 1 seed. We can see what Rich has been doing with his life.
Yeah, looking at shoes.
Looking at shoes. Better believe it. Just made a fresh order. These ones down here in that bottom right, they're coming to me.
No discount code
I can't
for you.
be the first pick because after OCR Worlds, I am in a strange spot where I have no confidence.
Rich,
I'm second guessing everything.
If Bracken's the last pick, you and I need to make sure he's locked into first.
I have no idea. I don't even know who's coming, so I don't know what I'm going to do either. We're spinning.
Do I still have a block card after TIFF?
No.
No way.
Oh, boy. I put in for
medical hardship. We got BK going for it. BK, what pick do you want?
Give me the 2 spot.
2 spot.
Go ahead, Rich.
I really don't care if I get this or not. It's more just like, all right, Jack, you get it, whatever, no problem.
Just give me the win.
Taking out number 1?
Nah, I'm going 3rd.
Okay, I guess I will take that 1st spot. And we'll do this again. So, Jack, you want to go ahead and pop yours up now? Stop the share.
All right. So we got Bracken number 1, or number 2, sorry.
Okay, and then BK, and then Jack, you're 3rd. We're drafting 5?
Correct. No, 7. Top 5
3, 3, 1.
We're drafting 3, 3, 1. Okay.
Number 1 pick, Rich. Hold on, let me see the list. I sent this last week. You guys had time.
I didn't look.
I think it is a slam dunk 1st overall. I probably should have taken it. Darn it.
You think so? Really?
I think no. I'm not even gonna muddy my own waters. I don't know anything.
I know that.
Yeah, that's obvious.
I know that for sure. I don't think there's a slam dunk. The men's side's going to be interesting. The women's side, I mean,
he's not on here.
I know. Where's he been?
He raced 1 time earlier this year.
Living off that world championship money.
I don't know.
Is he qualified for the 3K?
They have, so the Middle East has some weird like date structure where they backload their schedule a ton due to like it just being way too hot. So he might have a chance of getting in, throughout the rest of the year.
Before we start,
getting late though,
because of the unique style of this race, where there's going to be
3 races,
like three races, and there's going to be like 3 winners, kind of.
This is only going to be final standings after the beast. Not
any bonus points for a win on a single race.
I want all the convoluting factors.
You get
name starts with a blank. No,
goofy scoring.
Just for simple, it's going to be way easier if we do total time, because that's how.
No, I know, but that's not how we do. But like when we're like everything's going toward goofy games, so we got to like lean into it a little bit. We got to score.
Anytime one of your people podiums, you should get like a bonus.
How about this? I will score all 3 races individually, and then we'll add up the points afterwards. So we're gonna have like a ton of points, but we'll score it based on the sprint, then the super, then the beast.
No, I think we should have.
It's trifecta weekend. You got to go by
if I pick somebody who wins the sprint, I think I should then be able to give somebody a point.
How about
you add points to someone else's team?
How about both of your opponents, not just give it to one person?
They're all going to cancel each other out.
Unless you get that. No, we're going goofy games. We're not going to tell you up front. We're going to figure it out later. We're just going to unveil the scoring.
So it'll be mostly based on the end, but then probably some little bonus for individual races.
Or we're going to see each other in a little bit. So this could be something like in person. We could it
could be food based.
Well, it's always food based, but we never follow
exposure.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
We're not going to get
putting all my points towards minutes in the sun for Jack on Navy.
All right, I'm first. I'm taking Lindsay Webster.
The obvious choice.
Not really.
Not really? I think it's really.
I mean,
this this is the matchup we've all wanted. And by we all, I mean everyone in Europe. Her versus Esther.
Right. Esther is the defending champion. She was really good at this event last year, like undeniably good.
You're going to have two people that don't look like they're running fast, running extremely fast. Lindsay's got that compact little stride. Esther is race walking. This is going to be a showdown.
Lindsay has never done Trifecta Worlds because she broke her foot at Tahoe in 2019 when she was going to come over.
Yeah, she was ducking them.
And I don't know. I think Lindsay, just how well she's done in the sky racing circuit, when those races are, they're very long, right? I think that just speaks to the amount of volume that she is able to handle and put in. We haven't seen her done particularly well in ultra events, but this is kind of a blend of both. It definitely leans closer to like a standard Spartan
WTM team champion.
that counts. Put it in your bio. Put it in the bio.
She did the relay, so she ran half of it.
It's 24 hours still.
12 hours.
24. Yeah. 12.
That's more 24. Total time active than this weekend we'll have.
Yeah.
And less recovery.
That's all I'm saying. Who knows? Yeah. Never seen her in this style. I could imagine that she's going to be great, but I don't think it's a complete slam dunk. But I mean, if you're going to bet on somebody, that's who we're betting on.
It's the smartest move. So I'm gonna use not the Dennis system. I'm gonna use the Max system. Move in after completion, and I'm just going to take the next best obvious every time someone picks. So I'm taking Esther.
Nice.
Okay.
I can't pick a winner for the men because I've completely lost all my mojo. So I'm just going to take the next best every time.
Gonna separate entirely.
You're gonna Dennis me. I'm sticking with the Max system.
I like it. I'd take the scraps.
Real quick, do these count, since this is Spartan? Are these keepers for Abu Dhabi?
Standalone events have no keepers.
No.
Okay.
Just like OCR Worlds.
I'm just checking.
This is its own thing.
Okay.
What you gonna do, Jack?
I should have taken that too. I wanted Esther. That's gonna be a heck of a battle between them.
If anything happens, she's there.
Yeah.
She'll be pushing Lindsay the best she can.
All right. If you guys have seen how good he has been recently post-injury, Richard Hynek, he's on fire. He's won this race. He just won the 3K European. He always does well at this race, and he's on fire at the moment. So Richard Hynek, I'll go. And then I've got to get a woman before you guys take them all. Alyssa Petrova is what I'm going to go with.
I was like, Jack's college bio.
Yeah. That is weird that Alyssa's coming and our dude is not. Sergey's not.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe
support squad. You can't rule it out.
Yeah.
Now on the women's end, I don't know any of those other names.
You know Julie Best?
No, Julie Best. That's true. That's true. BK.
Avril Lavigne.
I read that as well. The first time, I'm like, she's not racing in the elite heat, but
all right. So I'm torn between.
Hold on. If you,
yeah.
So they update every single week the Trifecta World Championship. They have an athlete guide. The last time this was updated was the 26th. Before, I'm going to check right now because that might impact who's available. If you give me 20 seconds, but go ahead and talk through it, Bracken.
No, BK and I will take it our own way. Dude, I'm getting those DV8 Nitro non-elites. Just ordered them.
The Hunters.
I'm excited about them. I'm worried about the elites.
Not the Pro Wave, just the elites.
Too hard of rubber.
Yeah.
Too hard of rubber. Are you gonna wear those
scuff them up or something?
You gonna wear those Meta Speeds, guys?
No, I'm going in Endorphin Pro 3s. I haven't raced a Hyrox in them yet. I got to feel what they're like.
Mm-hmm. You'll enjoy them.
Yeah, and they're just so soft.
They feel great on that ground.
Pavements. It's a lot for me.
Mm-hmm. That's my issue when trying to run in these freaking Hyperion tempos. Just your body just takes it.
It's the single biggest difference I've found in my running since gaining weight. College, I was down to 139, but I sat anywhere between 150 and 167 was my race weight in college.
139?
My freshman year, yeah. I got real light.
God.
And got injured.
Could you still dunk?
I dunked that
year. He was
year,
the ball. Yeah.
But it was like
you go Vince Carter style.
Down. But I could run any distance in anything. Like I did a 5-mile road race that summer in some light little A6 flats.
But that was like that was what we raced in then, though.
But I was comfortable.
We didn't know. We knew nothing. We knew nothing.
We didn't. But that's the big, like, at a heavier weight now. Like, right, I raced at 180 in Michigan, and I feel every bit as fast as I was. And my road race mile times would show that. I cannot get away with less shoe now. That's the single. I can do all the same things I used to do: long runs, volume, speed. I cannot get away with minimal cushioning anymore.
You just
maybe that's age, maybe it's weight.
You just like it.
All right, I'm bringing this back. No
all right,
updates
Jack,
to the list.
You were the one who went away.
I know. I was checking to see if Sergey was there because you guys mentioned him twice. So,
all right, BK. Now what you gonna do?
Same list.
I find it difficult not to take Rylan because he just is the dog who will throw himself into every fight. But I also find it really difficult not to take maybe the greatest of all time in a 3-day event, which should suit him really, really well. So give me Ryan Atkins. The only reason I'm not taking Shoteg is because like he could break apart.
Right. He's going to listen to this and be like, I'll show you Bracken.
I hope so. I like him. I hope he does really well, but he's always on the verge or coming off something. And the one piece he hasn't had this year is running volume. And you're going to need some running volume to come through for you on this course.
Yeah.
Atkins was dinged up as well, but he just has such a history with multi-day and ultra events and he's the best ever, maybe.
This is the one thing missing from his podium or his checklist for like world titles. I think Atkins is going to put a little pressure on himself.
Warrior Dash. Come on, man.
That's still achievable.
Still achievable.
Yeah.
This course this is in Athens, right?
Yeah. No.
It's literally in Sparta, Greece.
Sparta. Okay. So this course is generally, it's rocky for sure, right?
But very
like West
runnable
Coast US.
patches.
Yeah.
With runnable patches.
Creek beds, but there are a lot of dirt roads.
Sparta, Greece, huh?
Not at elevation.
Not at elevation, right? This course can be fast. They've had bad weather. I was trying to find that now. It looks like the weather's gonna be pretty good, from what I could tell. So, just some factors to consider. Like
it all comes down to the beast, unless you majorly screw up the sprint and the super, majorly. And so it's who's moving with pace on day 3. Always matters. And on paper, it's Hynek and Atkins have the most proven capability to move on day 3.
Right. We saw Woods dominate day 1 and 2 and then run out of juice for that beast distance one year. And the way they run it, I don't love the way they run. Is that how they do all stage racing? Like they let the winner out first?
Yeah.
The leader out first? Or do they just...
so that the first person across the line is the winner?
I know, but that's like I feel like that's a
if you're 2 minutes down, that means you close on them. That means you made up a 2-minute gap. So you're I know it's different.
It's for optics, but it's not like I think they should all start at the same time and then just tally it at the end and just have it be a little bit more anticlimactic, but don't put the person who had the best first 2 days at what I would consider a disadvantage for the beast.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, and I flip-flop, I vacillate on this, but I actually like it.
You do like it?
Because by day 3, it's not like day 1. Like, obviously, yeah, but like people are beat up, people are tired. You just get out there and run what you have. It's not like day 1 starting out like, am I pacing this correctly?
I know.
It's like we're all here, we're all tired. I'm just gonna go run my best pace the whole time.
But if you can't key off the others when like you're tired and they're tired, I don't know.
You might be but you might be baiting the people behind you to, put in a surge to catch up to you, and you're just kind of like 90%, and then you've got something.
Why would you want that?
I know.
Wouldn't you rather just like run with them with your 2-minute cushion?
I know.
And be like, I'm just gonna sit. Instead, you're like forced to, and I guess that's something too, right? Like, you don't want people to be able to to sit back and try to chill. But I don't know.
It's to avoid the optics of crossing the line fourth and winning.
Yeah, but like
I can't overcome that with all the other logic for why it makes the race itself during the race worse.
All right, whatever. All right,
but we saw last year with Sergey and Hynek, and who else was up there? Help me, Jack. There's a third man.
Rylan was second.
Rylan.
Yeah.
They all came together on day 3, relatively quickly on course.
It always happens.
And then it was just cool. It was just a pack, and they raced, and you knew just it's a race now. It wasn't like the year before. When that happens, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah. So last year it was Hynek, Rylan, and who was third?
I didn't look at the results enough.
Liar. I'm taking Gregory Basilico here.
That was the guy who was in third. I remember now. So yeah, I just didn't want to say him.
You just didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But I knew it as well. And he had a real shot at winning this thing. It was really wet, correct, last year? And he was just missing obstacles like crazy.
He closed hard on Sergey because he was out of it for a while.
Sergey wasn't even there last year.
Was that the year before?
You're getting your treadmill running all confused.
Yeah. Come on, Bracken.
I have a distinct memory of watching him in the Adidas Speed Ultras running, thinking, that's not a bad choice.
I don't believe Sergey was there.
And it had to have been the year before. And again, I'm having a rough episode.
Because it was Hynek, Sergey, Albert Soleil were the 3 when Woods, Killian, Atkins, Aaron Newitt, when all the US people went over there in 2019.
Someone look up results.
I just gave them to you.
Do you guess?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, Basilico had a great chance to win this thing last year. He looks like he's the fastest runner out there. He's super aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably
the
smallest.
He's only doing trail running this year.
So hopefully he's been bouldering or something to get that grip strength up.
I think he's actually sponsored by Hoka, like Chris Brown.
For real?
So yeah.
Hopefully we'll see him in the Zinal 2s. Amazing trail shoe. Very happy with that so far this year, if I say so myself.
He was a Solomon guy prior. This might throw him off.
Yeah, it could be an issue. Who wants to trade? With my third round pick, I'm going to go Rylan Shadag.
Yeah.
You've got a good team.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've already said it. He's going to put his nose in it. It's going to be, I guess we have seen one example of him struggling in a race because of injury at Blue Mountain last year. I remember he was like stopping and doing like pigeon pose before like the dunk wall. So like there's a little precedent for that, but typically if he shows up, he's going to put everything he has out there. And I mean, his fitness is obviously elite, probably he's probably the most fit person at this line overall. But we're just going to see how that pertains to this. I mean, he's got to be carrying some really positive momentum after OCR World Champs and this 58-11 in Hyrox. So
don't forget he's already over there, so he doesn't have this midweek travel as well. Like he has to get to Greece, but he doesn't have to spend 10 more hours on a plane crossing the Atlantic.
I mean, he's probably like sleeping.
Yeah. Just shake out with the Hyrox, sleep in the bus station.
Cozy up next to like some riverbed, taking showers in there.
Yep.
He'll be at that start line. He'll be good to go. So, I don't know. I think we'll do great.
Bracken, who you got?
Oh, I don't even know which direction to take this.
This is great.
This is where the rubber hits the proverbial road.
And you have to pronounce their name correctly or you don't end up getting points for them.
5 people score, right?
5. Yeah.
Okay.
5 out of 7. Which was a problem for Bracken at OCR Worlds. So he's got a knack for picking people who might not actually be there.
I'm going to go Frederica De Carla.
All right.
Go ahead and elaborate.
Federica, not Frederica, but
Federica. Frederica would be a male name, Jack.
Freddie.
And it's Dacaria.
Stupid.
Well, you look at that.
Tell him to shut up.
Shut up. All right.
No, not you.
Oh,
shut up, Jack.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit back and let my people do the talking for me.
Strong.
I'm just going to take fourth
Jack,
here.
What country is she from?
Oh, come on. Don't bait
I'm just
me
asking.
here.
It's an easy
She's
answer.
Spanish.
No, she's from the UK.
Well, she lives in the UK.
Okay.
There was someone from her family at some point. Yeah. Was Spanish, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
I've seen her on results this year. I can say that.
She's actually pretty good. Yeah. I want to say she was like low teens at European Championship last year for the Beast. And I think she raced at Abu Dhabi as well. She's good. This isn't a bad pick, but I don't think she's going to be the 4th place woman.
I don't know who the 4th place is going to be.
Me neither.
But there are only 3 women taken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll put that in the wrong place.
All right. I'm going to have to go with the former European male champion for European Regional Championship, guy with 2 G's at the end of his last name, Luca Pascolderung.
Dang, I thought you were going to try to take Rylan Shadegg there with all them G's.
There are multiple people with 2 G's at the end. Good catch, Rich.
All these G's.
It's the G unit.
Oh, Rich is going to take the guy with the dick at the end of his name.
There's somebody there. No, there is.
There's only one of those.
All right. So I'm going Luca. Honestly, I think he has the potential to podium. He's really, really good. And he's been doing a ton of sky running this year as well. He's beat everybody who's shown up in the past. Let's see. Do I just leave it so that you guys don't know any of the women?
Oh, he just shows off so much in these moments.
No. I'm gonna go. I'll pick a woman. Klara Lukajakova. She has beat Susanna before a couple times, and she's probably the best left in the field.
Where?
Klara Lukajakova.
Nah, that's not a good pick.
You aren't gonna pick her? Yeah.
That's not a very good pick, bro.
Okay. We'll see.
All right. Pavel Hrdina, please.
We met him, Rich, in Dubai.
Be more specific.
He was on the Czech team, on Richard Heinek's team. And I want to say he actually may have podiumed an individual, I think like the super at the Trifecta Worlds last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And these two sometimes will race near each other. And that's all I need to know is that if you're running near Heinek, you're good.
You're good. Yeah.
I've watched a few European races with him on the stream, and he's a name I recognize.
Yeah. He's good at heavy carries also. And there've been a lot of like kilometer-long sandbag carries and stuff at this course, and you have the chains. That's not a bad pick at all.
All right. I'm up. My turn. Me.
And we have, for the genders, 2 and 2 for Bracken and me. Rich has 2 men, 1 woman.
Give me Thibault Jean. That is a name that I know I have seen.
Kind of bummed that you took him. I didn't think you would.
Jack, come on, my dude. Next pick.
I know.
This is your home.
I was between Thibault and Pavel.
Really?
European.
Okay. You guys are catching up.
This is where you go for this analysis.
Yeah.
Here.
Let's hear it.
Now I don't know what to do.
No, I'll just give Thibault a shout out. So he's been 3rd at European Championship before in Spartan back in like the days in Switzerland and Austria. Like he's really good. And he, just like Gregory Basilico, you're going like the all fast team this year. He's been 99% running, 1% obstacles, he said. And I want to say he just did some course with like 800 meters of gain, something ridiculous like that. It was like a half marathon, and he did it in like an hour 40, like with 2,500 feet of gain. Like that, it was something. It was an impressive mark, whatever it was. I'd have to look up the specifics, but
I'm impressed.
He's running really well right now.
Nice, Jack. You're usually the all speed team. You're like, this guy.
I know.
In 8th grade.
I was hoping I could
12-minute 2 mile.
Ryan Kent back in 5th grade.
8 years old.
Yeah, setting that national record.
Okay, I have 4 athletes who are going to score well. I just need to cross my fingers and hope that this works out for me. But I don't know what to do.
All right, it was a 10K with 1,600 feet of gain, and he did it in 42:20.
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
Moving.
Was it road?
Just looks like hills? Trail. Yeah, looks like trail. No, a little bit of road. It's probably mixed, but anyway.
Give me De Jesus.
Who?
Yakulina?
Yakulane.
Yakulane. De Jesus. Jack.
I should have got
it.
Yeah, it looks like
Ukulele de Jesus.
Yeah. It's all you, Rich, on this one.
I said it. I said what I said.
He already booked it. I'll move on for him.
What I said. BK, you're up.
All right. I would like Luca Pisani.
I swear, you guys are Jack just like looking at my eyes, looking at the screen. This is killing me,
dude. We're just nice. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I heard a great scouting report on him from Jack Bauer the last time we had a race, and it really hit home for me. It made me appreciate him as an athlete.
When was that? I've seen.
Yeah. Now, Luca Pisani, I was calling Manuel Defoe Luca Pisani because both of them are from Switzerland at OCR Worlds a couple of years ago, and I misidentified them, but Manuel ended up finishing 4th and Luca was 5th at Stratton. He's really good. And he's won those OCR series races, the ones where everyone's got those yellow bibs and stuff. He's very obstacle proficient as well and very fast. So good pick.
Thank you.
Jack, you got 2.
Decimated my team. All right. Looking at the men. All right. I've got to go with the guy with a bunch of Z's because he finished 4th in Abu Dhabi and we've kind of slept on him in the past. Gregos Chekla.
I thought you were going to say Zarek Zimmerman.
No, yeah. There's a lot of Z's out here too.
This is crazy. The spellings. Yeah.
Double Z, double G.
And it's not IZZ. It's a different one. Yeah.
Gregor.
But yeah, he's very, very fast. This is the first time we're seeing him against good competition since Abu Dhabi, for the most part. And I don't know if you get 4th in the world last year, feel pretty good picking you. And then
plus his name reminds me of Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah,
being a Bucks fan,
he was not really a Bucks player. He was a Timberwolf.
Yeah, I was like, I'm thinking Minnesota. That's all I think of him.
That's right.
All right.
Billy for sports fans, come on.
Don't even care. We don't need to worry about our awesome teams.
All right.
Nobody else's.
And we just had Hyrox in Spain. I'm going to go pick a Spanish athlete, Jessica Velasco Ruiz. She is, I think she has a top 10 at OCR Worlds in the past. And just whenever there's a race in Spain, she's on the podium for Spartan.
All right. BK, you're up. You need a dude.
Oh, I was going to take a woman there.
We're all, you and Rich both need a guy.
Okay. No, I need a woman. I was only scouting the female side. This is bad. You're going to have to give me a second.
Okay.
Dive through my archives here.
The winner of the first ever Trifecta World Championship in 2017 is still in the field for the men's side.
Well, I'm torn between Labros and Vanecki.
Pick one.
I'm gonna take Petr Vanecki.
All right.
All right, good pick.
He is another one of those guys who's beaten Richard Heineck in the past, and some of his local races. Always a threat in some of Central and Eastern Europe. Good pick.
I feel patronized, even if you meant that.
No, he's
whenever
good.
Jack says good pick, I think you bastard.
No, I'm mad. This is I thought I was just gonna stomp over you guys, and here it is. You guys are one pick ahead of me. I should have taken that first overall, so I could have had a couple of these picks back. It's a mistake.
I'm up. All right, I'm taking Julie Best.
Oh,
USA, USA.
She's done a lot of races this year of a lot of different variety.
Gaining experience.
Yep.
That's who I was going to take, but I didn't have a woman left, apparently.
Bracken, you just made an illegal pick.
Oh, did I screw that up?
Peter Vinicki.
I was told I had to pick a man.
Okay.
Is this a retroactive block card I get to use?
He's already used his block card.
Well, I'm saying that I was supposed to pick a female.
Nope,
I was told to pick a male. What's the ruling?
How many does he have?
Right at the bottom. Now he's got 4 guys.
Scroll up.
Women.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. 1.
He has Esther, Federica.
Oh, yeah, so I was wrong.
That's
you
it.
Need a woman.
Yeah, Bracken, do it over.
You want to take Julie Best? That's what's fair.
Well, is it though? Why don't we just roll with it, and I'll take my female as my wild card?
No, because I want Peter.
Yeah.
Okay, give me Julie.
Jeez, what a cluster.
And it's Petter.
Petter? Not to me. It's not.
All right, Rich, you have to pick a woman, and then you can do a man after.
Give me, scroll up a little bit, Jack.
Oh, I thought that was the top, but yep.
Give me Jamie Nunn, because that name is as easy to pronounce as Julie Best.
Yeah. Jamie is an athlete I work with.
What?
She used to live in Asia and now lives in the UK, I think, right?
Yeah, it's locked in.
Yeah. Bracken, tell us about it.
Give us the scouting report then.
She's been on non-impact cardio for about 9 weeks, coming off of some patellar tendinosis. And I'm using the wrong tendon, something. And we've moved up to some sled work, and she is going to go out to complete, not to compete.
I'll put her on the trading block.
Great person. Love her to death.
I'm sure.
And her husband. But she's dealt with some injury this year.
All right, hook it up with Petter.
I hope that this Peter Julie Best thing makes the difference between second and third with you guys.
Funny. Jack.
All right.
BK, wild card.
Whoever you want, either gender.
Carla Mochila. Mochila.
I'm sure that's it. Yeah.
Mochila.
Let's hear it. What's your scouting report?
Well, if it was 2 L's, it would be Mochilla. Which I believe is backpack.
Insight right here.
That's interesting because in the English language, it doesn't really matter. So that's a good point that you're bringing up, BK. Thank you.
So that's why I'm thinking Mochila.
Jack wild card.
All right. Oh, I forgot to knock off Jamie's name. All right. I'll just go with who will likely have the highest available placing, and that's Andrea Barquez. Ton of podiums, like every single time that there's a race in the UK, she does well. I think she's done Trifecta Worlds in the past. I'd have to look up her results, but she's definitely the best female left on the board.
Nice.
Saying a definitely there is definitely insulting to the rest of them.
I agree.
Too disrespectful. All right. Should we do a recap on our teams?
Let's do our teams.
I wanted
quick.
Ethan Brown. I just want to say that. Ethan, I did want you.
Men could have done something about it, but instead
he was going to be my wild card, but then I had to take it's just all screwed up.
Men's field is free. Men's field is stacked. There's only so much you can do. All right, let's recap this thing. We can get the world's toughest.
Rich, your team. It's a good team.
Oh, yeah. Lindsay Webster, Gregory Basilico, Rylan Shadag, Thibaut Jean, De Jesus. How are we saying this first name?
Juselin,
Jamie Nunn, and Petter Vinicki. I got it in the bag. My top.
You have a solid 4.
I have a great 4.
Peter's not a slouch either.
No.
There were those teams like I think what was a UTEP back when we were in college would have just like 4 East African runners and they just couldn't put together a 5th. That could be what we got going on here.
Bragging.
Esther Hotobagiova.
Nice.
Ryan Atkins. Federica De Caria. Pavel Herdina. Luca Bazzani. Julie Best. Carla Mochila.
It's going to be
pretty good.
You guys have some stacked teams. I don't know. I think it's a solid. I mean, solid team.
That Esther Lindsay battle, I think, is going to be amazing. I mean, have we seen Esther too much this year, Jack? How has she been? What kind of form has she been in?
Oh, she's got like 10 podiums this year. Just doing what she does.
Shuffling along.
Yep. Shuffling along, literally. Yep. All right. My team: Richard Heineck, Elisa Petrova, Luka Piskolderung, Klara Lokadjikova, Gregos Shekla, Jessica Velasco Ruiz, and Andrea Berquez. So no Americans, I guess.
Any North Americans? Where's Jessica from?
No, Spain.
You're going to pay for this. You're going to pay for this one,
I'm going to
Jack.
pay for this.
You go too far. You're leaning too far into the bit.
I wanted North Americans, but I wanted a lot of people. But I think I've got a solid team, less of a smaller ceiling, but a higher floor, basically.
Yeah, right. And this race could be one of attrition. I don't have the depth of knowledge when it comes to like the middle of this event. If people kind of get hurt or really drift off, but this is an event that who knows, right? Like who can fill in that top 10 could be people who are just plugging away, staying consistent, not falling apart. That's what really makes this interesting, right? There's some names that can really emerge from this because of the intense demands of it. This is really a fun race. If you guys haven't checked this out, those listening, it is really fun. It's a really fun race to watch. And they have like some sort of professional coverage.
Allegedly, yeah, they're going to have good coverage this year. They have some TV deal or something, or a professional broadcast
for us.
Oh, no.
I'm not entering my credit card like you did, Bracken.
I didn't enter mine.
Oh,
I'll put it in.
I use Lisa's like a chump.
I'll pay for it. We'll all share it. I'll give you my
Patreon money.
Patreon money is going to pay for this one. This is what the people want.
Do a live stream.
We could do a watch along, see if they come after us, but probably not. That's a lot of watching.
Yeah. Now the Spartan World Championship is no longer like the spectacle we loved. I think this is the biggest spectacle event of the year.
Phenomenal venue as well. Like in the on the trails, you run through like just these olive gardens or olive trees, and then you get nice and dry area. You go in the creek, you run through the old town. It's a phenomenal venue.
And they do a parade of nations, and they do their big lit up awards each night. It's just a big spec. Now, WTM and OCR Worlds will argue that, and WTM still might be the biggest event of the year. But in terms of just spectacle, this one feels special.
Yeah, this last year I remember watching and having some FOMO, and I rarely get that for Spartan race in general, OCR in general. So if you have a chance, check it out. It really is a fun, cool event. And you get to learn some names that you might not know because you are more or less forced to watch the same people at 3 different races. So you can kind of learn the stories and learn how people race and see them. So you can learn a lot about the sport for this just one event. So I would highly recommend checking this thing out.
Yep.
Now, let's move on to World's Toughest so I can kick that Heine in another draft.
All right. I'm going to need to pull up the info in an email, but go ahead. Whatever you want to talk about, World's Toughest Mudder or shoes in the meantime. What shoes would you wear for World's Toughest Mudder? There we go.
BK.
I'd be rotating a lot. My body really likes getting new shoes on during ultras, but I'd be sitting between Speed Goat 5s, Tecton X.
Really? It's just not good in the mud. I mean, I guess there's not a ton. This is a new venue.
This is Granbury, Texas, which is about an hour southwest of DFW Airport.
And this is one of those events that you give up grip for health.
Padding.
What shoe is going to have the grip you need for all day? Grip. Something, best case scenario is something from VJ. But what does VJ offer that has all day grip? Some athletes can do it in the Max or the Ultra, but those aren't Ultra shoes. It takes a rare athlete to be able to do that. And they don't have lugs. Mm-hmm. And if this is a muddy course, it gets chewed up so much that you would need deep lugs. So if you're not going to have deep lugs, you might as well have cushion and support.
Which that name in town was, Jack?
Granbury. I think that they have a Spartan race there.
They do. They had a beast 2 weeks ago there.
Yeah.
DJ Fox, not there. That's a big story.
He's been hospitalized after his super ultra event across Colorado.
Yeah, the Colorado Trail.
Yeah, he was doing it supported, but yeah, the Colorado Trail, which is what? How many miles? No, it's got to be
like 450 over 7 days.
Or
That's crazy. That's great. From
high altitude too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You
High
go
altitude.
over lots of mountains to get from Durango, and it ends like in Littleton.
I want to say you don't drop below like 8 very often.
No, I mean I think it just starts and ends like it starts and ends at like 5, but through the middle there, not a lot of flat run. Weather in Granbury, Texas, looks nice. Low of 54, high of 74. Sunny today, sunny tomorrow, sunny
Once
Thursday.
You get cold though, there's a big difference.
I'm saying it might not be that cold.
What it comes down to is really, is there tree cover and what's the wind like? That's the deciding factor in what cold feels like. Like running through the woods at 40 degrees is warmer than running through a windy field in 55 degrees once you're wet. The wind cutting through the wet is everything in this race. And then also, how much water can they get there? They didn't struggle for water in Floribama.
No.
They sometimes struggle for water in Vegas. The desert swallows it up. So how much water can they come up with on course, and how much wind do you deal with? Those are the big deciding factors.
I would imagine quite a bit in this area of Texas.
You would think so.
It's Texas OCR, so it's gonna rain. Like, that's just what happens.
Sunshine from now to Tuesday, dude. The weather looks absolutely beautiful here. So
which can bring its own issue.
Beautiful weather.
74 during the day, which you'll hit twice, just changes the hydration needs.
Potentially. Yeah.
And it adds to chafing if you're sweating. And so, I mean, it's an ultra, right? You're going to run into issues no matter what the weather is.
It's more the distance and time.
Most people would prefer to be a little more warm than frozen to the bone.
Yes. And that was last year in that Alabama, Florida area. That was the main issue, was the cold and the wet. It got very cold, very wet. And when it's been in like Georgia, it was very cold as well. This doesn't look like it's going to be as big of an issue this year. What's the plot like? What kind of elevation are we talking? What kind of change in elevation and
more vert than last year, less than Vegas?
Okay.
I read people in that Texas race, the one that you're referring to, the beast from a couple of weeks ago, they had like almost 4,000 feet of vert, which is pretty surprising.
The map's up for this. Let me pull it.
Pull it up.
I'll send you the map.
Yeah.
How about that? You guys fill some space.
So this would be, I mean, we got Chris coming back.
I've got the roster. I'm just trying to make a very piecemeal looking thing right now. So give me a sec, but
we're working it out. All
right, I just sent the map in our group chat.
Let's take a look at that. Does it have elevation on it?
Yeah, man. Well, it's got the profile.
Okay. It's moving up and down. Where does it say it starts and ends? Just under 1,000 and tops out at like 15. I can't make out what that says.
We're gonna have to put it up on the big screen, I think, and blow it up.
That's even gonna work.
You can share it, Rich.
I don't know if that even will help. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably wear speed goats as well, just because I like how that feels.
Got talked to Ian Caskey a little bit offline, just chatting, and he was talking about taking out the Nike Ultra Fly for a bit.
Oh wow, yeah,
yeah,
those look interesting.
Yeah, they're not light, but they've got Zoom X, they've got some spring to them, they've got deep cushion. First couple laps, I could see doing that kind of thing
on the hot lap. Yeah.
All right, Jack, you ready?
I've got it whenever you need.
Rolling?
Yep. I thought you were doing the map.
Nah, you just can't really make out what the gain is going to be, where it starts and finishes. It just ain't happening.
All right. Very rudimentary list.
Let me get this wheel in it. Okay. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, Jack.
What?
I did some screenshots.
Jacqueline Bauer.
Jacqueline or Julianne. Yeah. All right, Rich, do the wheel of names.
Wheel of names happening.
2 wheels in a day is always worth my time.
Greatest.
That's what we want, man. Hey, this thing always delivers, dude. It really does. Just like
so who got it last time? Bracken got first, so that means Rich or I will probably not once again, and Bracken will go first again.
And it's spinning. Is that the full screen on your end, or is it still like the tabs and everything?
Oh yeah,
there's still tabs.
Jack, you're in there.
Give me that one.
Numero uno. All right. And we spinning. Oh, that's me.
Oh, shut him
out.
I
like it.
Give me that 2 spot.
Give me a spin.
BK, looks like you're going to be that number 3, but we give him a shine.
Just in case.
This race is this is also one that's very fun to follow.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily try to be locked into any type of live feed or try to watch it. I have a hard time trying to watch this at any particular time of the day, but following the live tracker I found to be pretty entertaining. A full day of checking results on stuff, it's amazing. I love that.
I like to have an iPad up while I'm doing stuff, tune in.
Do you?
At night, there's usually a UFC fight going on, so you can have fights or boxing going with that on the side, live links going. It's a good side piece to have.
What'd you make of that Ngannou?
I don't know if he won, but he didn't lose.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Shockingly competitive.
Is he just going to be a boxer now?
I think he'll be exposed eventually. But I think this is what happens when you party and don't train.
For sure.
You can't play at the highest level.
For sure. Seeing it, if we get Ngannou like a what was it, Deontay Wilder, just guys throwing haymakers at each other, that could be fun.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
He'll make things exciting.
Did Fury hit him? Did he ring his bell ever?
He knocked him down.
Fury knocked down Ngannou?
Oh no, sorry. I thought you said did he hit him? No, Ngannou got wobbled maybe once. Not really. Like their faces after were a stark contrast.
Wow. All right, Jack, are you ready? Pull up that fun graphic that we have.
All right.
Jack, you're on the clock.
I guess I'm in trouble. All right, I'm going Chris Roglaski regardless. So
yeah,
lame.
No brainer. Why can I not share my screen?
2023 is the year of the comeuppance. This is when all her pigeons come home to roost.
All those pigeons.
She's got away with too much
for
far too long. And this is when it happens. She's writing a bunch of checks that her pigeons can't cash.
She's going to love being compared to a chicken.
Pigeon.
A pigeon. Can you guys see the names on the right?
It was starting with James.
Yeah. Who's the lowest? Okay. So I wasn't sure if the half screen that I have gets in the way, but as long as you can see that.
Now, this is a stacked field. Now that we're talking about stacked fields, we got some real people who.
What did I say?
Let's just do like the Jack thing where who's not coming to this, because I think that's always an interesting conversation. Obviously not Atkins, who is undefeated at this race, correct?
Jack, this is high level work. I like watching this.
Me
this
too.
Is high level.
Me too. I love this.
This is like a teacher with a smart board right here.
Yeah. Look at that.
Anybody else not really? DJ Fox, we mentioned not being there. Josh Reed isn't going to be here this year.
No Anthony Kunkel.
No Anthony Kunkel.
I was hoping to see him return and
hot
do his thing.
He seems to be really rocking the roads. He seems to be like pretty quick right now.
He's very good.
Then who else, Jack? Who else is missing? The women's side seems to be pretty intact from last year. Is the whole podium back?
Looks like it. As far as
we don't need to go ahead and explain who that is, so we don't want to give BK any edges.
No. That's I was like, you can say it if you want, Rich, but I'm keeping my mouth shut until
I watched all the coverage. I pulled pretty much an all-nighter. I slept for like 90 minutes last year.
Okay. Yeah.
I was at a Friendsgiving for this, and I was just like ignoring the shit out of all my friends, checking out what was happening. I'm like, do you believe this guy? Elmer King's leading. What? Yeah. Am I up?
Yeah. Do you actually think Chris isn't going to win, Bracken?
I think she is the prohibitive favorite.
She just did like a really, really long effort in Arizona, and then she came back on like 3 hours of sleep and did a 27-miler on her 27th birthday, I think yesterday. So she might have some fatigue in her legs, but this is Chris.
It's there's no such thing as like a gimme in the ultra world, especially 24 hours. If you have to eat, things can go wrong. If you have to run in the dark, if you have to get cold, like, things can turn so quickly, and then injury can happen.
Yeah.
And so nothing's a guarantee, but she is yet to prove herself wrong.
I just crossed off Morgan Mackay. She's not going to be there. Matt told me that.
Thought you were drafting out of pocket.
Just helping you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Chris said her ultra fitness is better than it's ever been. She had a really good year on the trails,
5 miles,
which is pretty scary. Can she? What's the all-time record? What did Batress run in?
115.
115. Can she beat that?
No.
Dude, are you kidding me? After last year, those
Atkins didn't beat it.
So
that year was a special year with weather and terrain. And Batress put on a special. The way he was running, speed actually mattered.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's slow. I'm saying that he was running at a level that's almost unheard of in this type of event. It was unheard of.
What Chris did last year in that weather with those conditions, the way those obstacles were set up, some of them were just like you had to get in the water overnight. It was just like really not a fast course. But
it wasn't. But what was her distance?
100.
Right. So you have to come up with 3 more laps.
Yeah, which is like an hour, right?
And she did this in like the 25th hour, not because they allow you to do that hour and a half extra. I just don't see it. Because you know,
3.5 hours basically to cut off.
Yeah. Chris is a freak. That's why I picked her number 1 overall, but she's not going to
get into her personal life for it.
You guys are haters. How far do you think?
Rich has 120 for her.
I shouldn't say no, she can't, but there's a reason only one person ever did it in the best weather year we've ever seen.
Haters. Can she win outright this year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 101 last year, right? Didn't DJ 105 with 100? Oh, he did get 105?
Yeah, and then Gaudette, who's also not here, got 100. And then Tyler also 100.
She absolutely can win outright. I don't think she will, but she can, and I don't think it'll surprise anyone. But it'll be historic.
I want to say there have been 2 times where a woman has been on the overall podium, and it was Juliana Sproles that first year in New Jersey, and then Amelia Boone or Deanna Blegg one of those years.
The second year, yeah. I think it was Amelia. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got 90 miles, I think, behind Jun Young Pak.
All right,
that's an all-time performance still. Those 2 in New Jersey.
Legendary. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take the highest returning male with Tyler Veerman.
All right.
This will be his second crack at this event. We saw him in the lead for a good chunk of this last year, right? And then Mark
second half
overtook him, and then DJ overtook Mark at the very, very end.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyler, he's been in the front. This will be his 3rd Ultra OCR event. So he's gaining experience. His fitness has to be as good as anybody's. His obstacles are as good or better than anybody in the field. So if that ends up being a separator at any point, because last year they had like an impossible obstacle out there that like I think it was a what's the monkey something? They
Kong?
Huh?
Kong?
No, maybe it was some variation of the monkey obstacle that they have, and there was like a banana that was like too far of a reach, and everybody failed. Like I think Austin was the only person who got through it like once. So, like stuff like that can play into it as well. Like if there's a hard obstacle that someone like Tyler can do and others can't do,
yeah,
I just like him for it. I like that. I like where he is in his career for this type of an event, and he should be great.
Yeah, and he's had some hard finishes, difficult finishes, and I think that sets you up to know what to do in the future.
Yeah, that classic shot.
I'm going out slow.
If I'm every single person here, that's what I'm doing as well. BK, who you got?
Well, I'm going to follow my strategy. Take the next best at everything. So give me, and arguably maybe she's not next best. Got to take Katie Knight.
Ooh, yeah.
Second place last year.
Second place last year, champion the year before.
Yeah, like prove me wrong, right?
Yeah.
This is where it gets really tough for me, because I think if I have to count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there are 5 men left who can legitimately win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I don't really know what to do. And so I'm going to go with what I think is the safest bet. Not necessarily the highest rank to win, although he could, but I think the person will not get it wrong, Austin Azar.
I like it.
And that is not a shot at anyone else, but everyone else here has like, they could have boom or bust potential. I don't think he'll ever boom because he's not going to go out to try to boom. I don't know if he could go out and lead the hot lap if he absolutely wanted to, but he will be moving the last 3 hours, and you don't know that for sure about anyone else.
Has experience. He's run this race.
Chris's shoulder.
Yeah, they were kind of pacing each other last year. He's run this race a bunch of times at this point now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was his highest finish?
He has an orange jacket. He got second. He got
really?
100 maybe 2016 or 17. Yeah.
All right.
And with his cold tolerance and his history doing this, he may not ever change out of shorts. Like he might just be in his discomfort zone the entire time. He might be able to handle this extremely well.
I like it. Good pick.
It's my line.
Back to me.
Yep.
This is tricky now already. Not because like the trifecta where we didn't know who to pick. There's a lot of really good names out here, and just like who knows what to do.
Yeah.
In these scenarios. But the top 2 from last year off the board on the women's side, I'm gonna take Hannah Carter, who I believe was 3rd or 4th.
I think right? Jenny Overstreet is not in this list, and I think she was just after.
Hannah looked so good in the middle of the night. I was commenting on the live stream like, holy crap, I was blown away. She just looked really, really good moving through. I was amazed she wasn't leading, because she just looked better than most people out there.
Yeah, she had a plan and she executed really well and came up in a really big spot. So this could be her year where she does get up on that podium. I don't see why not. Again, just gaining experience more and more. So I like her in this spot.
All right. I've got to go with the multiple time champion, Chris Mendoza. I'm going all Chris's. So can't go wrong. Texted him the other day. He's feeling good.
Chris with a K, rounding out your squads.
Yeah.
Does
Chris Brown, he might be my wild card.
He's won twice?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he only won once.
No, I'm pretty sure he's won twice.
BK, weigh in.
Once.
I believe
once.
Runner
disrespectful.
Up the other year.
Yeah, I thought he beat Trevor on the last lap that one year. Who was there a year where there wasn't a payout? That was the year Trevor won, I'm pretty sure. Where there wasn't some sort of payout.
Okay. Well, I'd need to have my other screen up to verify that, but
take your time. We'll talk about. I think another option here would be the Speedland. I think you'll see some of that out there. Double BOA system, which makes adjustments really nice with frozen hands as your feet change size throughout the race.
That's a good call on those.
The TAM is a bit roomy for my liking, but I believe DJ Fox wore it in Infinity in Denver. And then they just came out more recently with the updated version, which is it's not snug by any means, but it's a little less roomy up top. So that would be something I could have in my quiver there.
There is a WTM Wikipedia page, which is super helpful in these moments. Jung Young Pak won twice, then Atkins won twice, Chad Trammell, Trevor Sykos in 16, Atkins in 17, Chris Mendoza in 18, Sykos in 19, Batris in 21, DJ Fox in 22.
Yeah, you're right. Chris has a 1, 2, 3 through the years.
He's got the whole set.
And he's 3 times 100 miles. That's pretty good odds.
Last year seems like a bit of a disappointing finish. I think he dropped a little early, I believe.
Yeah, he had 60 and then kind of called it a day. We might have some really high point values during this race with potential DNFs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Chris, unlike Jack, I'm not calling you for a DNF.
No way.
Dude, you just draft you, give you that backhanded compliment. That's tough, dude.
That is tough.
Yeah.
So Jack, who else you want? Like a girl. I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. All the above. Oh, man. There's such a high ceiling for this guy.
Do it.
No, I'm going to go with the guy who's consistently over 90 miles, Christian Brown Johnson. Just kind of like Austin. I'd rather play the safe bet and know this guy's going to finish rather than potentially win, but also get 70th.
CBJ?
Yeah.
All right.
Leaving some good people on the board.
One away, Rich. What are you going to do to me?
I'm the one who's up.
I know. It's one away from me.
Then it's you. Me
That's
first.
what I'm here for. I'm here for my picks.
Numero uno. I'm taking Callie Schweikart here.
She wasn't going to say yes. Yep.
Taking my own doubles partner from me.
This is her second go at WTM. She was really dead set on trying to do that Spartan Ultra. Seems to what she believed to fit her skill set a little bit better in terms of having some strength elements in there. But she's just really coming into her own as an ultra athlete. I think the second time around, there'll be some mistakes that she can clear up pretty easily. And I want to root for her. So I'm taking her.
In Colorado.
Yeah.
She was sick of carrying the load for Bracken on Hyrox doubles, so that's why she switched to ultra.
It's a heavy load.
Yeah.
It's only getting heavier by the day. And the thing with her is that we're going to remove her inexperience this year and the cold wet.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to do better the drier it is. And she's now experienced. The problem is she's in a relationship. It goes one way or the other. Like,
always
do women make the legs weak or do they strengthen you? And you never know what it's going to be like. Is she dialed in and supported, or is she distracted? Callie, that love life, that's your X factor here.
Sometimes it could be beneficial having something else. Not everything is training. Not everything is racing. Opening up your world.
They carry the load
that support.
We'll see.
She's going to crush.
But I would have drafted her next.
Who you got?
Corinne Cullen is who I'm taking, which I really like in this slot here. I think she has podium potential here. And it also screws up
I think she has been on the podium before.
True. And this year, I think she is set up to have I mean, if the top two are the top two on paper, things can drop out anytime. We've already established that. But does she have any worse odds than anyone else to take that second or third spot? I don't think so. What it screws up, though, is my chance to take two guys who I think could both win here.
Take one.
And so I don't think either will get back to me. But I'm going to choose the one that will hopefully screw up Jack's day the most. So this is nothing personal to the man I'm not taking. Give me Elmer King.
Yep.
He was leading it last year for a good chunk.
Through the night.
And that's why
it's been a mistake.
That's why when I said I'm a little nervous about, I'd rather have someone who has a high floor than a high ceiling in this event, just because you know they're going to finish.
Yep.
And Elmer has that high ceiling. It's just,
he does.
Are you going to do the same thing as last time and then sit out the final 8 hours or whatever because you went out too hot? But he's got the
fire and
talent to win
ice.
it.
He and Austin, fire and ice with me. Well, shake and bake.
That's the thing, man, with this event. It must be so crazy to be like, I could only imagine thinking about a mistake that I had made all year, and not necessarily a mistake, right? Or something that you'd want to do different, and then having your shot to do it again, and then just like having the discipline to execute.
Yeah.
Just on there's just so many few opportunities to really nail this thing that like you hope people could learn and grow, but there's no guarantee.
And like that, can you imagine nailing a race for 13 hours and having a bad race?
Well, that's not nailing a 24-hour race.
but to have 13 hours of I am doing this and I'm in my zone and I'm executing and not have success to show for it. Now, the ultra world would argue like he had a lot of success to show for it, and I would agree, but I just think you're right, his ceiling's so high, and he's going to raise his floor with his experience.
All right, I'm up. I'm also between two men here.
Still 2 people left that could win this, I believe.
Give me Ultra Beast Josh Fiore.
Yeah, there's one of them.
Yep. He closes so hard at the end of the day.
That was the thing that you mentioned, Jack, like the ceiling, maybe it's capped, but the floor is there. Like you can't say anything's a guarantee here, but in terms of people you can bank on doing well, like Josh Fiore's there. He might not be there in the beginning. You might not see him all the way through the end. He might be in 10th to 12th to 20th at 12 hours in, but he might finish in 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a closer.
I like this squad I got going on.
All right. I'm going to take this guy from Bracken, Ian Caskey.
I knew it was coming.
It was either him or Elmer. I was going to get one of them. So huge potential. He's had 100 in the past, right?
Yeah, and he's going to get it again this year.
Yeah. Could win. Yeah. Ian's just, I think now that the cold won't be as big of a deal, and then we're saying that, like, it can easily turn into a shit show, but I think that is something that's going to help him not having the freezing cold or the wet necessarily.
And Ian's just gritty. He's just a cramper and has been for a decade, and just can sit in it and work through things that other people can't work through. Gross. He's just so tough out there, but he also has the high end ability. He ran 4:19 in a mile, 4 or 5 years ago. He's been setting the Masters records in Iowa on the roads and on the track, running, what did he run? 159 or something, 2 flat in the 800. He went after the 800, the mile, the 5K, the 10K. He's running low 15s. He has track speed and he has ultra grit. He kind of has the mix to win this race if it ever just aligns. Last year he was closing. He moved into 3rd towards the end of the night for a lap or for half a lap. Like he has it there. And I believe he's going to get over 100 miles this year.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I like it.
So I'm mad that I didn't get to pick him. I mean, I could have picked him, but I took Elmer to
that's fine.
Jack.
That's fine. I spited you.
Yes, you did.
All right. 3rd place last year on the women's side, Jenny Overstreet. I think she got 85 miles, tied with Katie Knight. Just a little bit slower time-wise, so not a bad pick here.
If I should show myself. She's under...
Oh, she's right over by Jay.
I couldn't fit everything, so I had my hodgepodge. That's why I asked early on, can you guys see everything on this screen?
Yeah. What was the controversy last year? Wasn't there some sort of controversy? Of course.
There was. I don't remember the details, but there was something.
Timing chip.
Was it? Yeah.
Or bib. I think it was bib.
Did Hannah go out without her bib or something like that? Was that what it was? I forget. It was something like that.
Yeah. I think it was Hannah.
I thought it was someone was penalized for not having their bib.
Yeah, I rewatched the ORM documentary. That's probably got all the details.
There's something like, she switched tops and had the bib not go back on or something like that. She came back to get it, or her team ran it out to her. I'm hazy on it, but it was one of those gained no advantage but broke a rule type of deals.
Yeah, right. A rule that's just like clerical.
Exists for a reason, but didn't provide any advantage.
No advantage, right. All right. I will take Kelly Glynn here.
All right. She was top 5 a couple years ago, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is like her A race of the season. She's out here in Colorado. I think she's out in Durango area still, formerly of Noob Sanity. So she's got that grit. So this is a race that she'll be circling, and she has experience in it.
So there's a rock she'll do well.
If they got the goofiest games up there at Noob Sanity now, they're going all in on it.
Yeah, they are.
Bracken
they're like the Scream in Scream 2 of goofy games.
Like a wink, wink.
Where they're sending up the industry while also capitalizing on it. I like that.
That's a good call. On this Halloween day.
Yeah. I saw Scream 6 about a month ago.
So. How was it?
And?
Not the best, honest. Little bit of a stretch. It started out pretty good, and then like these are the killers. It was like, come on, this is like some Scooby-Doo stuff right here. You knew it was coming.
I mean, it is kind of like Scooby-Doo. I didn't realize that it was. I didn't realize it was Scooby-Doo when I saw it as a kid because I was like 10. It
was terrifying.
It was like really scary. Yeah. And then as I grew older, it's like, oh, this is kind of a parody on what the industry was at the time. And I was like, oh, I don't know.
I watched Scream 2 at a sleepover in 7th grade.
Scream 2, I remember being like real scared about.
I was terrified to fall asleep, and I kept dreaming that I was awake, and it was bad. And then you grow up to realize it was a comedy.
Right.
That's why they made a scary movie about it. What's your since it's Halloween, what's the best scary movie, your opinion?
Scariest or best?
Good question. Good qualifier.
You can do both.
Give me The Descent.
I still haven't seen it. For both, do you think that's the best and the scariest?
It's the best combination of the two, I think. For me, personally. It's creepy.
I remember seeing The Ring and being very upset about the how scary that movie was.
Just upset.
What do you got, Jack?
I would say Insidious. The first two, fantastic. They both play into each other. That's good stuff. And The Strangers is also one of those.
Strangers is creepy.
I'm like, yeah, that's all right. I'm not answering the door if I'm getting an Airbnb in the woods. I'll pass.
Did you guys see Hereditary?
Yes.
Just not enjoyable.
Yeah. It's very upsetting.
Yeah.
I remember that being
Was that the one with the car crash?
Yeah, there's a car incident
okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
And then that I haven't seen the other one that he directed, Midsommar.
Yeah.
But I believe
that
that's
one's decent.
Similar. I believe that's also extremely upsetting.
There's that line where it's just not enjoyable, and you understand this is probably really good at what it's supposed to do, but it's just not
for me.
A movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it made me feel something, and the way that it was shot was really interesting. Like you can tell the director has a good sense of his craft, but very good.
Another underrated one, As Above, So Below. It's on Netflix.
So Below. Yeah, it's good.
You seen that one?
Yeah.
Where we at?
Great,
BK, you're
great
up.
Poster too for it.
Yes.
That matters. All right, we put this off long enough.
Patreon only content right there.
Whoa! You guys talk about shoes all the time. We could take a 2-minute detour.
Diana Kaplan for me, please.
Okay.
I think.
Let's hear it.
I don't know her preparation for this, but I think she can do well at this race.
Wow. Good take.
Assuming she's fit. Again, I don't know her personally. Like some of these people I've talked to, some of these people I've seen their Strava. I don't know her preparation for this, but I believe she has a skill set to do well at this.
Yeah, she was ninth last year with 70 miles.
Nice.
And I always look back and think, if you could do it then, and you remove the worst part of it, can you do significantly better? Another year of experience, less cold. Now, some people need the cold to get to ninth. They shine when, and again, I don't know her, so I'm just purely guessing, but I think she could be a top 5 person here. And then, you know what? I don't know if it's really going on a limb. It's probably not. But
wait, let's make sure you get your gender correct so we don't have another Peter Vinicki.
I'm alternating. Situation. It'll be fine.
All right, 2 men, so 1 last guy.
Jay Fettig.
Is he one of Kirk's athletes?
Yeah.
Or has been?
Yeah. And he did, was he 10th last year?
He did well. I thought he had in the 80s. I'd have to pull it up.
I think he'll do better this year. So holding down for TRP, taking him. I don't know if they're still working together. Kirk and I actually don't discuss athletes that often.
They're going to say don't discuss anything. I was like, man, whoa.
Dang, after you dropped that L word on him. Yeah.
Kirk, I need this week. Kirk's on vacation. I don't have him this week.
Oh.
You going solo?
No, I'm going to have some co-hosts here. You want to co-host later this week?
Bring in Jess. Have a one-on-one like he did with
She's
Lisa.
With him.
Bring in Jess.
Kirk, I know you're taking the week off with Jess, but I'm gonna snake Jess.
Yeah.
All right, give me Evan Papyrus. Papyrus? Papyrus? Papyrus?
Papyrus. Yeah, you know this is his A race every single year.
He's done it a lot. So, got the experience. Leaning on experience heavily with my team.
Got that.
It matters.
It definitely matters, yeah.
I would agree.
He won't be surprised by anything. If they gave out buckles based on how many books you've written about the event, he would take first.
Right. And that should count for something in our draft. We can make that happen.
Most books.
Yep. Bonus points.
Bonus points for show.
Yep.
Jack, wrap us up.
All right. 5th place last year on the women's side. She got 75 miles. I'm going to go Heather Bodie.
That was my wild card.
No, she wasn't.
What do you mean?
All right.
Because I took her.
Well, it doesn't change. I said past tense.
I know.
Was.
Dummy.
Context matters in this.
Would have been. Yeah. Yeah, wild card. This is one of those things where it's like, do I pick a former athlete who's been there and might not be on the list? Because this is just what Tough Mudder published on their website or some email.
Take Kempson.
Kempson, yeah.
KBB.
I'll go Trevor Psychos.
All right.
Why not?
It's a good wild
Chris
card.
Brown. Yeah.
Take
I mean, he's won the race before. He gets like 100 miles basically every time. You don't really hear about what he's doing
twice.
until you don't really hear about what he's doing until World's Toughest Mudder happens. So who knows how things are going for the man.
Take Courtney DeWalter. Maybe that's what I'll take.
Yeah. Anthony Kunkel, Josh Reed, DJ Fox. Yeah.
Some good ones. Don't think they're showing. This was interesting this year because they came in last second for prize money. I think they cut it in half, but they were saying no prize money for the majority of the year. The year.
And right away, a bunch of people were out.
Yeah. I think that's what happened with the Josh, DJ, Anthony.
Yeah.
End of things.
Mushrooms ain't cheap.
Got to keep your mind right. Now, I'm just going to take Sarah Tucker. I'm a fan. She's tough. I don't know if she's done too much of this distance, but I just want to root for her. So I'm taking her.
I would like Jay Fettig to receive his black stripe, his strike through.
Oh, my mistake.
What if I would try to take him? What if I would try to take him, Jack?
Yeah. Then we have a whole Julie Best situation again.
Yeah, this would be bad. Yep. There we go. And Sarah Tucker also needs hers.
Oh my goodness.
My squad. BK last pick.
Ooh, let me have
anybody. Atkins.
I wish we could cut this dead space because I can't think of this man's name. Nicodemus.
Nicodemus Holland?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pulled an Elmer one year where he was just like way in the lead, and then
he's been up there a couple of years though.
I think I think he goes by Nick De La Rosa now, and he was 5th or 6th within the past couple of years as well.
It's a classic Chikorita situation here.
Don't know the athlete, so could be anybody. Yeah, that's a good wild card pick.
Yeah. Alex Rudania.
Well,
Rudana.
I mean, yeah, Rudana. Yeah.
Let's recap this thing.
Me, I went first. I got Chris Rogloski, Chris Mendoza, Christian Brown, a lot of Chris's, Ian Caskey, Jenny Overstreet, Heather Bodie, and Trevor Psychos as a wild card.
Nice. I got Tyler Veerman, Hannah Carta, Kelly Schweikart, Josh Fiore, Kelly Glynn, Evan Purpuris, and Sarah Tucker. Dude, I'm loaded. My team is all these Americans.
Knight, Austin Azar, Corinne Cullen, Elmer King, Diane Kaplan, Jay Fettig, and Nicodemus de la Rosa Chikorita de Lego.
Look for the results.
I like it. Hey guys, we did a great job today. We covered a lot of stuff.
Double draft. This is
double draft, and we talked about some Hyrox stuff. This was a
no mic issues or anything
of race brains. We're back on old school technology.
Would you guys like a race brain teaser related to World's Toughest Mudder?
Would we?
Suppose I got another 45 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, do you want it or not? It's no big deal.
Fine.
All right. So there are two women, and I'll ask this for the men. There are two women who have over 400 or 400 miles or above in their WTM career. Who are they?
Rhea?
Nope. Rhea's only done it a couple times.
Has Amelia done it enough?
Amelia with 405. She's in second place.
Who's like a staple? What about like the Morgan McKays of the world?
She's got 360.
Ooh, that's a good call though.
Who has Tough Mudder in there?
Or she only done 2 or 3?
You said Deanna? No. Deanna has 85, 75, 70, and 80. So 310.
Has to be someone that has the world's toughest in their IG handle.
She was drafted.
Is it Hannah Carter?
Nope.
I don't know.
Bracken. Bracken drafted her. Corinne Colin. Yep. The only year that she's missed were 2015 and 2022. So she's coming back. She's got 432, and that's not a 5 or a 0. You might ask that. That's because the first year had 8-mile loops. So she got 32 miles. That's crazy that 32 miles was a lot in the first year, but no one was prepared for what was coming.
Yeah. Right.
And a decent stretch on asphalt.
Yeah. It was like a motor park or something like that.
The New Jersey one?
Yeah.
Yeah. English Town.
Yep. All right. So there are 5 men.
I went to work there once.
There are 5 men who have 650 or more miles, which is crazy. Like the big jump, we just did 400 for the women and then 650 for the men. Who are they?
The Mendoza line.
The Mendoza line. Is that in? Are you guessing Chris Mendoza?
I am.
No, 555. He'll get it this year.
For Paris, for sure.
Evan, 3rd place, 660.
There's 5 men, you said?
5.
Is Trevor?
Trevor Psychos is the all-time leader with 870. So give him a couple more years. He is going to be the first to 1,000.
Atkins has only done it 3 times, as we've covered.
I'm also adding like your team because he got 40 in 2018, and Atkins actually did it 5 times because he did a team with Matt Murphy and
you're counting team into this?
You ran it, yeah.
It didn't get him into it though.
No.
Atkins has
530 over 6 years.
Oh, he did 6 years. I thought he did 5.
Nope, 6 because he got 40 when he did the Lindsay's Angels team.
That's right.
All right, so you got Trevor and Evan, 3 others.
I'm out of juice.
You probably won't guess them realistically. So Jim Gundry, he has 650. He's done every race since 2012.
He's on there this year too.
Yep. Matt Hansen, he did not race last year, and I guess he's not racing this year, but he did every race 2012 to 2021, and he has 655, so 5 more than Jim. And then the only athlete that I have been able to find, and sometimes it gets a little tricky because they'll list teams and it'll say like Team USA won. So there might be a couple others who just don't have an identifiable name in there, even when you click on the result. But John Fagan has 845 miles, and he has done every single World's Toughest Mudder so far. And I think he's on the list as well. So
shout out
40 that first year.
Nice.
Yep. Good for him.
Race brain teaser. Nice work.
Yep.
PK, what we got on TRP?
Q&A?
Q&A.
Q&A's for days.
Q&A.
But with guest hosts.
Guest host Q&A.
Whoa.
A little different perspective.
Are the cues directed toward the specific guest? Or they're just general cues?
I may, depending on the guest, have a few that I swing one way or the other, but I generally don't look at them before at all.
You might plant some?
Might plant 1 or 2.
Okay, that's smart. That's smart. Did you have a guest on Friday?
We did.
Do you recall?
No, I've been not sleeping much, so I have no clue what I've been doing. Yeah, we had Eamon McKenna. He was Kirk's teammate in college, who is now the head coach at UW Oshkosh tracking, distance track, and then cross country, men and women.
Sweet gig.
And was All-American himself.
Nice. Walks the walk. It's like Kent, Meg, and I chopping it up on RMR podcast. That's really all we got going on. Check out the app.
So we had two drafts today and talked about Hyrox. Next week, we're going to recap these two races. Probably something crazy is going to happen. So we're going to dive deep into those. And then we're going to have Chicago Hyrox to talk about as well. Like this chunk of the season, November is going to be busy.
We can figure out how to preview that as well. I don't know if we necessarily need to draft, but we could.
Yeah. We know who's coming. Allegedly.
We know who's going to come.
Yeah. We'll draft if you're in. That's the only way we'll do it.
All right. I got to go check my email compulsively for the next
day,
24 hours or so.
All right. I'm going to go check on a sick kid.
All right, fam. Thanks for checking us out. We'll talk to you guys soon.